Hi everyone. I want to share with you second revelation I received concerning Revelation 17, talking about the prostitute. And I want to show you who this is first, because then I can show you the revelation I received. And let's start with what I've written here. Revelation 17 verse 4, the woman wore purple and scarlet clothing and beautiful jewelry made of gold and precious gems and pearls. In her hands she held a golden goblet full of obscenities and impurities of her immorality. So firstly we're going to look at these colors: purple, scarlet, gold, precious stones. The Bible explains itself. This is explained in Exodus 39. There's other verses too. This talks about the priestly garments. They wore blue, purple, you see purple, and scarlet, made garments for ministering in the holy place, and made the holy garments for Aaron, you see is for the priesthood, as Yahweh has commanded Moses. He made the ephod of gold, you see gold, blue, purple, scarlet, thread and of fine woven linen. Verse 10, and they set in the 4 rows of precious stones. So everything is there except the blue. So what does blue represent? It represents law obedience. It represents the law. So why doesn't this woman in the Revelation, this whore, why doesn't she wear blue? Because she's not obeying the commandments. So she's not wearing the blue color. It's also why when they wear tzitzits, they have the blue and white thread that they wove together. Now the blue thread represents the law and the white thread represents purity. So we see that Revelation 17 says that this woman is the priesthood, the temple, the priesthood, the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the scribes, all those. But it's more than this. It is more than just the temple and the priesthood. We see this later. But another proof that it is referring to the priesthood, let's see here. She held a goblet full of obscenities. And as verse 6 says, and I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints. The prophets is the saints. She is drunk with the blood of the prophets and the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I marveled with great amazement. So we see that Yahushua referred to this too. What John is saying there is exactly what Yahushua was referring to when he took on the scribes and Pharisees. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites. And this is what he said. Verse 31, therefore you are witnesses against yourselves that you are sons of those who murdered the saints, who murdered the prophets. Fill up then the measure of your father's guilt. Serpents, he called them serpents, broods of vipers. And they killed the prophets, the saints, and they must fill up this cup. You see there, Yeshua said, fill up this cup. The same thing that was mentioned in Revelation. They were drunk with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs. So again, another proof that this is referring to the priesthood, the Pharisees, scribes, and the temple, everything to do with that. But then we see in verse 9, here is the mind which has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which this woman sits. So this temple sits on 7 mountains. Now tell me, where fake Israel is, that fake Yahusalem, is it built on 7 mountains? Is there one huge mountain with 7 other mountain peaks around it? No, sadly it's not the case. It's very flat. It has a few hills there. It's not surrounded by mountains or have any mountains or peaks there. Let's see here, verse 18. And the woman you saw is the great city that has royal power over the kings of the land. You see, it refers also to Yahusalem itself, the city. So it is the temple and the city. Why? Because they're together. The temple is built inside the city. It's inside the city walls. So they are both receiving the judgment of Revelation 17. Just wanted to show you here this judgment. And then the 10 horns which you saw on the beast, these will hate the harlot, they will hate the temple, they will hate Yahusalem and all that, and make this her desolate, naked, eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Exactly what happened in 70 CE. Rome, the beast, destroyed Yahusalem with fire, and they killed those priests and Pharisees and Sadducees and scribes. They killed all of them. They destroyed the temple. They destroyed the city. They ate their flesh. They stripped them naked. Exactly this happened already, people, 70 CE. It's not something that must still happen. This happened back then. Yahweh did away with the temple. Why? Yahushua is the perfect sacrifice. That's why. And they didn't want to stop sacrificing. So Yahuwah had to change that. He did it by destroying it, so they can't kill animals anymore. Because Yahuwah didn't like that. And so yes, we see that Yahusalem, the temple, sits on 7 mountains. So where can this be? You might wonder. Ever heard of this mountain, Mount Ruwenzori? Ruwenzori Mountains National Park. This mountain is on the equator of Africa. So I zoom out. There's it in Uganda. I just want to add show grid lines. You see it's by the equator here, yellow line. I knew, according to my findings, that Yahusalem and the temple must be on either one of 2 mountains. There's Mount Kenya here or Mount Ruwenzori. Now, with this new revelation, I think it is actually Ruwenzori. Let me show you what I mean. This is Mount Ruwenzori. You can see there is 7 mountains on this mountain, or you could say 7 peaks. Exactly what Revelation says. She sits on 7 peaks, 7 mountains. It's got Mount Emin, Kessie, Speke, Stanley, Baker, Luigi di Savoia, and the Portal Mountain peaks. So you have the 7. It's amazing, eh? It fits like a glove into that scripture that says she sits on 7 mountains. So let's also look at other verses here. This is quite a confusing verse if you read it in the different translations, because they keep changing it. But Psalm 68 verse 15. I'm going to read it from here. A mountain of Yahuwah is mountain Bashan. So it says Yahuwah's mountain is the mountain of Bashan, which is Mount Zion, according to this verse. A mountain of many peaks is the mountain of Bashan. You see, Yahweh's mountain is the mountain of Bashan, and the mountain of many peaks. What did I show you? Many peaks, 7 peaks. 7 peaks. Yahweh's mountain has many peaks. Revelation says it's 7 in total. And then we have Psalm 125 verse 2, as the mountains surround Yahusalem, so Yahuwah surrounds his people from this time forth and forever. Now, you look at this. If Yahusalem is built, for instance, here, you could say it is surrounded by the mountains, because these peaks are different peaks on this one large mountain. And of course, Yahusalem won't be built on one of these mountains because it's very high, these peaks. It's built in the valleys, still on top of the mountain, but then it will be surrounded by these other peaks all around it. So yes, David is correct. Yahusalem is surrounded by mountains. Amazing, eh? You can't say this for the fake Yahusalem. The fake Yahusalem is not surrounded by mountains. It doesn't have many peaks or mountains surrounding it. It's quite flat, level. There's a few hills. That's it. Not much. Have a look at this. This is also the only mountain that I found that they block with clouds. All the other mountains I looked at in the past didn't do this. You see this white becomes more white when you zoom in, and they just block parts of this mountain. In the past, when I looked at this, more of this mountain was blocked by clouds. For some reason, they removed some of it. I don't know why. And yes, if I could visit one mountain, it would be this one. I think this is Mount Zion. This is where Yahusalem was built, and the temple. Between these other mountain heads of this mountain. It's like that. And it has these different mountains on the mountain, or peaks on this mountain. 7 in total, just like the Bible says in Revelation 17. And so I would think, well, when I've looked at this mountain, I thought that Yahusalem won't be on this side of the mountain, rather on the east side. There was a river coming around this side of the mountain. Some of the river also came out here. But yeah, I think halfway. And it's from here where Hezekiah in 2 Chronicles, remember what he did? Let me show you. 2 Chronicles 32. Slow down. Verse 30. The same Hezekiah also stopped the water outlet of the upper Nile and brought the water by tunnel, or brought it straight to the west side of the city of Yahusalem. He prospered in all his works. He dug a tunnel from the upper Gihon, from the Nile River, to the west side of the city Yahusalem. Now, we all know where the Nile River is, and that's why I also think this Nile River used to come around this side of the mountain long ago, and a little bit of it came up here, but the rest of it came around that side. It's interesting, this mountain still supplies, I think the White Nile is supplied by this mountain, and there's a lot of rainfall here on this mountain, and that from this side of the mountain he dug a tunnel to the west side of the city. So I always thought that the city was here somewhere on this side of the mountain, inside here, which would be then surrounded by peaks. If you think it's here, somewhere here. But like I said, it's very tough and difficult to really look at this, and very much impossible, really. I looked at some videos of people coming here to, but they only show certain paths. they just go straight up on these peaks to climb it because it's quite high. It's stunning. It's a stunning place. Yeah, but I believe this is Mount Zion, people. Mount Zion, sorry. The equator, and I heard before, but I can't prove it, that you could say this was the center of the Earth on the horizontal and the vertical line. Because remember, they made the Greenwich meridian, they made the yellow one, yeah, the Greenwich, goes through the UK there. They made that, determine the time of the day using that line. But I believe it used to be this one here, on the 30° east line. That used to be the line. It goes straight through Mount Ruwenzori, Mount Zion, on the vertical line and on the horizontal line. It goes by this mountain. It's amazing, eh? There you have it. So this line here used to be the line that determined the times of day from. But anyway, this is this revelation of the 7 mountains on which the women sits, the Yahusalem sits. And as I said, there is not 7 mountains or even one mountain with 7 peaks or mountains on top of it. Here in Syria or Palestine or fake Israel, all this area, you don't have it there. You don't have it. There's just a few hills here and there. It's very flat. Another that this is not the land of Canaan. It's not the land of milk and honey. Alright, that's that for this video. Next video is a revelation I'm going to share concerning Jubilees 10. Enjoy your day. Bye.